Hi, you guys. Ginger Cook here with Acrylic Painting Monday. We're into the winter months, so we're going to do a winter painting of some super neat jars of little glass jars of cocoa with some pretty straws and a kind of a starry background. And I think this is the perfect time of year to paint this. And you're going to learn a lot about painting glass and just kind of... well, I don't know what you're going to learn because I haven't painted it yet, but I'll tell you as we go. But I assume that you're going to learn something and hang in with us. So let's see what we're going to do.
Ooh, we're going to start off with a dark canvas.
Yeah, this is a dark canvas. It's sort of a dark purple, maybe a little ultramarine blue. Just doesn't really matter. Some sort of dark canvas. What I want to do first is this is basically my intention of what I want to paint, okay?
Ooh, that's pretty.
So I know that I'm going to, before I get too far down here, I'm going to do the sky first, and then we will trace on the jars, right? So somewhere about in here, kind of like this is what we're doing the sky, okay? All this is going to be sky and background. So we're going to do that first, and that's why I wanted something very dark. We're going to be doing something called a gradated sky. We have shown how to do that on several occasions on YouTube, but just, you know, how you just keep overlapping. And if you're doing a gradated sky in watercolor, you have a tendency to overlap, but in acrylics, you need to skip down a space. Like, remember the old typewriters you hit return?
Yeah.
Return a couple times and then do it, and I'll show you why. This is a little bit different than you would do it if you were doing it in watercolor. Okay, so what we want to do is start off with the ultramarine blue, and I'll tell you this colors as we go in a minute, but just ultramarine blue and white. Okay, like that, and that will be my darkest part of the sky up here. You see that? And I think I want a tiny bit of magenta in that to just turn that a bit more purple. Okay. See, when you want to go all the way off and across, and make sure that you've covered this. It may take a couple coats to make sure you've really got this color, right? Like that. A little bit of white in there. I think that's zinc white too, John. I think that white is like zinc white. I think I put it just zinc white is your transparent white. Now, okay, I'm going to come down and don't stop in the middle because you get a mark. You've got to go all the way across and lift up, right? Now, what I want to do is I'm going to get a little bit of phthalo blue and white, and I'm going to skip down here. See that? I'm going to skip down and work my way up into this, and then I'm going to melt these colors together like that. And this is how you do a gradated sky in acrylics as opposed to say watercolor. Okay, now I'm going to lighten it up again with a little bit more. This is titanium white now and a little tiny bit of phthalo blue, and I'm going to skip down again a little bit more phthalo blue. Okay, I'm going to skip down and maybe a tiny bit of phthalo green. There you go. And white, yeah, phthalo green and white. There we go. I'm going to skip down here like this. Okay, and then as I make sure that you've gone all the way to the edge, go all the way across, okay? And I'm going to get a little bit more of the white here like this. There you go. I just want this a bit lighter down this way, okay? And then as I work my way up into this color, what I'm going to do here is that there's such a change between these two. I'm going to rinse the brush, wipe it off, and then I'm going to overlap these two like that, just using the water on the brush to melt these two together.
Your glasses seem to be
put them on. There you go. There. Now you see how that works? You see how we've gone from the turquoise blue. This is how you would do water too. See how you've gone down and you don't have any streaks, right? That's kind of neat, isn't it? Now, if I want to indicate that there's some sort of land here, for instance, if I wanted to say like there was a little bit of land, I can do that after I do my cocoa and stuff, I can come in here and maybe add some snowbank or something like that. So what I'm going to do here is dry this, all right? Now we got to dry it, okay? So while I'm drying it, John is going to tell you about how premieres work.
I'm going to tell them how premieres work?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I didn't mention that before.
So, okay. Wait.
You got to let me turn the dryer on, right?
I'll pause. Well,
Okay.
I really couldn't talk about the premiere over your...
Hair dryer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
could you tell us
John.
about the premiere?
Well, yeah, and I'm doing that. I'm going to go ahead and get out a toothbrush and show you how to. We're going to put the stars in. This is a fairly stiff toothbrush. I'm going to wet it, and I want a little bit of white paint here. Oh man, I want titanium white. I have somewhere here, right out where you can see it. Okay, just on a little paper plate, and then I'm going to put. Want a little bit of purple in it. Like a tiny bit of purple. And I'm going to do that, okay? So it's just not quite white, it's really kind of purple. And I want a little tiny bit of water on this like that. Now, so it's kind of fluidy, right? Fluidy. And then now let me show you this. Let's just test it on something first, because if you get it too wet, you'll get a spatter. But what I'm doing is you hold the toothbrush down like this, all right? And then run your fingernail across like that, and that's how you get the stars, and that's got a good load on it, so I like that. So I'm going to start up here in the corner here and just say there's my starry sky. I'm just using my thumbnail, and if you get a big star, that's okay. That's all right. Okay, there's a few of those out there. It could be a satellite too. Could be one of who's the guy with all the satellites? Probably one of his, right?
It'd be Elon Musk.
Yeah, probably one of Musk's satellites, right? It's a Musk. It's a must-see, right? What is that? Just there you go. There's my. Now what? A few little bigger ones. There. All right. So that's my starry sky. Yeah.
Very
Neat,
nice.
huh? Isn't that nice? And it's slightly purple. It's not completely white. Slightly purple. Yes. And I got a nice hand. A lot of people don't like to use a toothbrush for that very reason. You get kind of this goopy hand, and some people find that really just icky. Just can't imagine why. And but you know, you can use a wire screen too and rake the toothbrush across. But you know, I don't have a screen, and we haven't done that. But yes, it's possible. So now I have to dry that. So we'll be right back.
Okay, looks like we got the traceable ready to go. Hello, are you there? Over.
I'm there. Are we ready to start?
We've been started.
Okay, so I've traced it on using the Sorel transfer paper. The traceables will be available on our website. The only thing I did a little bit differently for the straws, I made sure I had a ruler to make a straight line. And
even though it's a triangle.
yeah, so
You had a straight edge.
had a straight edge, you know, some sort of ruler or something. So there's our picture that's going to go against that. Now this was actually a combination of two scenes. We found a night scene and this and put them together. This original photo had it just like an old brick wall or something, which wasn't all that interesting.
It was ugly.
So, and when I say that, I just want to say that, for instance, we're big on this kind of thing. This was one we released last year in the Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting with gingercook.com. Can't miss that. We have done, over the years, we have done a series of cocoa and Christmas type of holiday things. Holiday cheer. Here's another one we've done in the fall. So if you're going to kind of like that kind of thing, we've got a, you know, look at that. See, just some simple ones. There's a lot more than the ones I'm showing you here. This is a YouTube one. Here was one of my favorites on YouTube. A lot of people painted this of the coffee cup in the, you know, kind of snow. So when you look at what we're talking about doing with these, this picture, I think it fits right in with if you've been collecting or painting this group of paintings. So now the colors we're using, we can talk about those now that we've got something to think about here. We're using obviously ultramarine blue and phthalo blue and white, and we're going to have some burnt sienna, some burnt umber, some phthalo green, some cadmium orange, some cad red medium, probably a little bit of yellow oxide and a cad yellow medium, and maybe a little dazzling purple. So that's I think those are the colors that we're going to be using. And of course, this is a Stay Wet, Masterson Stay Wet palette. So even though we've been painting happily several paintings with this, and we can still use this palette. And I think that's a lot of times people tell me, well, it's just so expensive to paint. Well, you got to get a little clever with some of this, and that's one of the things is using a Stay Wet palette. All right, so I think the first thing I want to paint is my mugs. I'm going to take a angle brush like this. And I want sort of an off-white. So it's going to be just burnt sienna and a bit of white. And I'm going to come in here like that. And I like to start in the middle. A lot of people want to outline and then fill in. But for me, it's easier to creep out on the edge like that than it is to, and then just rotate the canvas around and just sort of pull the lines towards you. To me, that's a little bit easy. If you were left-handed, I don't know, because I'm not left-handed, so I apologize, I can't speak to that, but find your happy spot, right? That's what I would tell you to do, is find your happy spot with the angles of where you want the outline and so forth. It's just like something like that. Now we're going to add a little bit of red to that color, and then have this a little bit darker down here, just a little bit of naphtha crimson. I think I forgot to mention naphtha crimson, but I'm going to add that, and we're going to say that that's a little bit darker down in here, and follow the curve of the cup like that. Cut that in. Okay. That's a good color to begin with. And I think I'll take even a little bit more of the purple and red, have something a little darker down here at the bottom, maybe like that. Just at the bottom, and I'll do that right next to this one here. I'll put that color right there too. Maybe here. All right, so I've got all that color on the brush. So what I have to do now is I have to wipe it off if I want to continue. And I think as long as we're in these darker colors, I'll just go ahead and do the bottom of this cup like this. Here's the bottom of this one, kind of make room for the handle. And then let's see, a little bit more white, and I'm going to say here's the top of this one. This is not going to be hard to paint in. It might take a little bit, but I think this would be a fun one to, if you like cocoa or coffee, or could be coffee, could be cocoa, whatever, could be whatever you say it is.
A beverage.
Huh?
It's a beverage outdoors.
An outdoor beverage, yeah. Could be any of those things, right? And then we'll have a little bit of the red coming right here like that. A little darker color right there. Okay, so far so good, yeah? Now, when this dries, I need to put some lighter colors, but in the meantime, I can just rinse the brush. When I rinse the brush, I touch the bottom of the pot and really rinse it. So now I'm going to not just splash it around on the top. That doesn't do anything. So here's the cup handle, like this. Now we'll get a darker color too, but I'm starting with the lighter color on this first, so we don't lose it. It comes in right like that, and this cup comes into the wall right there. Okay, we got a little bit of a light rim up here, and I think I can put some of that white down here now. Ooh, look at that, all that white paint.
That's an awful lot of white.
Well, that's what happens, and then people end up with too much paint. Now look, you just have to mop it up like There you go. Now bring that light down like that. There you go. Just blend that out. You know, this is what paint does. Just blend it out. There's a light highlight here that's coming down here like that. And I'll take a little zinc white and bring it down even a little further into here. Okay, so it just doesn't end there, right? It comes down like that. And this one does that too. All right, so we've already got pretty much a lot of the cups done. We might want a little bit of a light. This is called reflected light. We might want a little bit of a light right here now on our cup. A couple of these. There we go. Okay, and then something a little brighter over here. Yes. Okay. And let's just cut to the chase. Let's put the cocoa in and everything, right? Let's not. All right, so let's take some burnt umber and red, right? So sort of a dark burnt umber red. And let's just come up here and put in the marshmallow cocoa things like that in dark first. And then we're going to do the ones on the right, we're going to do in a little bit of off-white. So take a little bit of white and yellow. We're going to do this. We're going to say that that's the cocoa in here. Then all I have to do is take a little bit of white paint and just do the tops of this. And because this is still wet, it will blend into the right color. Just make sure you get a couple angles. See? Look at that. Cocoa. Cool, right?
That's simple.
And then the same thing with these. I'm just going to say, here's some white. All right, so it's those two. And we'll come back and put the straws. All right, let's get the bases done. What's next? I knew there was something. Do the bases. I want a little tiny angle brush. I want this one. All right, so I'm going to take some white and a little bit of purple. Not much, and I want to come under here, and I want to just say, here's some light purple, maybe a little bit of light blue. Come down around here like that. Some ultramarine blue around this. Big dark right there. Maybe a little purple. Purple and ultramarine blue are good too. You could do ultramarine blue and magenta. You got a few options here about how you want this to look. Now, at some point, you probably have to, if you want to do the highlights, we can do a few like that. We can do a few kind of fast brush strokes like that. And when this dries, we can come back and get a little bit more technical. But that's, as long as we're there, let's take some purple and brown, come on up to the inside of this now. The cup here, and come on this. Think of this like the letter C, right? That's the shape you want. It's a little bit thicker right up here like that. All about contrast, isn't it? And I'm going to just do this and bring some cocoa, just purple and brown here. I'm going to bring some. Remember, it's got to almost, at this point, it's almost got to drip straight down because it's dripping. You got to figure gravity feed, right? All that. Yes and yes?
Gravity taking over on the cocoa, is it?
Yeah, exactly so. I'm going to take a little bit of Cad Red Medium and going to put that on here like that. A little bit of color in here like that. A little bit of this orange color here. Let's get this right up to, let's get rid of the blue now. Okay. You got two pretty fun cups without having to do much, right? A bit darker here. Don't panic, it's just paint. That should be written somewhere in your studio. Don't panic, it's just paint. See how white needs to be a couple of coats of white? Can't just rely on the first time you did it. You've got to come back and
You got to give some more love.
yep. There you go. Well, that's a start, you guys. So we're gonna do kind of the weird stuff first. How's that, right? So let's just tackle all the weird stuff. So let's start with the cinnamon sticks. So this is like a cadmium red light. This is a little bit of red with that. We're going to say this one's slightly darker. Okay, there's our cinnamon sticks. All right, now they don't look much like cinnamon sticks yet, but go with it, right?
Those look like very spicy cinnamon sticks.
Well, yeah. So now we're going to take a little yellow and orange. We're going to come on up here to that's cadmium orange here. We're going to come up here to this first pine cone. Let's roll that off the brush, a little more Cad Red. We're going to add the pine cone. These are like little loopy things. Let's say there's that pine cone. We're going to take a little purple. We're going to come up to this one, a little bit of orange, because it's not so bright. Let's say that there's this pine cone, a little more purple, and maybe a little bit of blue and light blue, right? Light blue and so you're going to just say that the light's hitting the top of that. Not trying to make this too hard, kind of just swooping it down here like that. And we can come back a little bit with this pine cone in a minute. Okay, so we got a pine cone. And we want some dark brown for this pine cone. And we're going to make them similar, even though they're not in the photo. We're going to make them similar. Because the light's coming on the top here like that. All right, so we're going to say that those are our two pine cones, and let's see a little bit more the blue and white. Oh my gosh, so easy to pick up too much paint on a brush. You're not paying attention. I'm trying to talk to you and do this, but All right, so that's my 2 pine cones. Yes, yes, and yes. But I wanted to get the hard stuff out of the way before you all panicked. Not just, well, I'm good till we got to that, and then it just all went south, something like that. I don't hear that. So next, we're going to paint the board in. So let's take some Cad Red Medium and a little bit of burnt sienna and paint in a board. Let's put some burnt sienna with that. Maybe a little bit of burnt umber. There we go. I'm just going to say up here like this. I'm going to say this is the deck for this. And as we get down here, we're going to make it a little bit lighter. And then this back over here, underneath all of this, is just very dark. It's part of our table. It's all dark. And it could be less dark in here. All right, so we're saying that happened there for now, and all the brush strokes are kind of going at this angle. We haven't finalized that, but we got to, let's see, a little bit of purple here. We want to put the stripes down on our table like that. Okay? And again, this is all different. This is a different part of the table. And then what goes over here? Well, we figured out that what goes over here is our snow, right? So let's just take some phthalo blue, maybe ultramarine blue and white, or something like that. And let's just say this is our snow. A little bit too much blue. So let's try more white. Okay, we're going to say that that's our snow scene right there. A little mountain coming up like that, okay? So somewhere in the back there's some snow. And that's what we're going for, right? Because we're not going to see it over here. Even if we did, we might see a little of it right here. Just because we might. Yes?
Just a little bit past that pine cone.
Just a little bit past the pine cone here, like that. Like that, just because this is all greenery here. So this would be, I just want to suggest that, maybe this is coming like that. Okay? Now, let's try everything. Yes.
Looking pretty good so far, Queenie.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, not bad, right? So,
The chocolate looks good.
I want to suggest that there's some snow here on this board.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how's that going to look different than the stars?
You've got to trust me on this,
I've seen the star brush being used.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to make some snow. Everybody with me?
I'm with you so far.
Where'd my paper plate go that I was doing that on here? We're a versatile painting company. We can do stars and snow at the same time.
All from the same brush.
Got some real blue in here. We're going to do a lot of layers of this.
You just like putting paint on your fingers.
Yeah, I want to dry that and then do another layer.
Ready?
Should put some snow out on the plate. Need some white.
Oh, you have a tube of snow. No, that's cheating.
I have a tube of snow here. Now we're going to now, in order to get this just the way I want it, and I've got paint all over my hands, so it makes it a little more challenging to paint this, right? I'm going to say, and there's a lot of different ways to have done this, right? For sure. I'm going to dry that. Okay. Gotta be careful here. It's a little bit too fast. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the lines back in the okay. So that's my first little bit of snow. Now I need more snow. What I'm going to do, I need a clean, can't use the same rag again once you've had snow on it. You'll drag it around somewhere you don't want it. So
yeah, it's just too cold.
So we're going to do another layer of snow on top of that again. We're going to switch toothbrushes so that we don't have any purple on it. And so I have a brand new clean toothbrush, minus the purple. Just enough water on this to make this work. Tap it off like that. There you go. See? And I think even though it's not over here, I'm going to have to do a little of this. Why wouldn't there be some here too?
It should be.
So let's see what would we do here like this. I'm going to have to paint this out a little bit. Okay, at least something like that, right? Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me. I have to redo this again, I will. Okay. All right, so I'm going to dry that. Yes and yes?
Okay. You got snow on your glass.
What?
Got snow on your glass.
I don't care. All right. So now I want to come back up here and do my grooves again. Like that. And then I want some white. Like so. So far, so good. Yes and yes. Now, we're going to do take the phthalo green, ultramarine blue. We're going to go ahead and do the pine cones, leaves, the pine stuff. So kind of more of a blue-green color. Kind of dark green around here. Okay. Now just we lost our pine cone here, didn't we? Oh, we put him back. Good. We'll put that little pine cone back and it'll all make sense then. All right. So while that's drying, let's put our pine cone back. Oh, pine cone. Hey, little pine cone, where did you go?
You got buried in the snow.
You might want to do the pine cone.
A big blizzard came along.
Yeah, you might want to wait to do the pine cone. Now that I've done that, I've never painted this before. I'm just painting as I go, thinking this is how I intend to paint it. But you know, there's our pine cone right here. See, already it looks better, doesn't it? And we might suggest there's a pine cone up here. We'll just suggest one just kind of buried up in here too, because it's nice. So there's a pine cone up there. Nice to have 3. Now, let's see, let's do the dark around the bottom of this. Kind of paint that in a little bit. Yeah, I think we can work on the glasses now. While this is drying, we can work on the glasses before we put the snow on that stuff. Okay. And but I think before I get too far away, I need something going like this. Okay, there you go. All right, so let's work on our glass now. Don't need a lot of brush strokes, but you do need to indicate where the reflection is happening. And you've got a cheat sheet. You've got the photo, so you know where it has to go because you've got, like I say, you've got the photo. This is why I always tell people to use a reference. Now I want a little bit lighter right there. Want something a little bit lighter up here on top of the cocoa. Okay. How about something a little darker in the center? Red, dark blue maybe. So we've got these. Let's see, it could have a touch of green in that too, you know. Just remember it's glass, so it's going to reflect whatever's behind it. Go kind of slow if you need to. You don't have to make real fast movements. Okay. All right, so there's the bottom of our glass, and if I wanted to, I could take just to widen this up just a bit. Okay. All righty. Now, let's put some snow back on our pine cone. Like little loops. They're like little loops, like little U's. Look over the top of. You don't have to do much to indicate a pine cone. Sometimes when they get down to the bottom, it's almost a straight line. You kind of angle them as you curve them. Okay, so we got 2 pine cones there. And now let's do our do our cinnamon sticks. I'll tell you one thing about the premieres. There's a lot less of me chatting because I'm chatting madly online. Would you say, John?
Yes.
You're talking about a premiere that's just not me talking so much. We could answer some questions that have come up this week, even though this week is not your week. Right? We could do that. You got any questions people have asked, John? You can think of this week that people have asked?
Well, the major problem we've been having with some people getting into some of the websites we have is they are using their email instead of their username, unless, of course, their username is their email. But even though the system does say you can use your email, it does not always work.
And isn't there some programs, some Apple programs that are not as friendly to you know what I mean? There's like Safari, but it doesn't like Google, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, you always have browser issues, but we seem to be pretty stable on that at the moment. But that doesn't mean when they change things that it doesn't mess things up. Another thing, when people fail to log in, they get their password, they keep trying. And look, if you don't know it after 2 times, use the contact us, let us reset it for you and get you back in, then you can reset it yourself. But you're going to get yourself locked out and you get frustrated and
Mad at us,
do
right?
anybody any good.
Right?
Yeah, so if you have a username, use the username versus your email. And if you forget your password, use the contact us and let us reset it for you so you can get into your account without locking yourself out.
Oh, that seems like very good advice.
Well, I think it's excellent advice. You know, Morgan, in charge of security, is trying to pass that along to you folks.
Okay, I'm sure he'll be very happy.
That seems to be the major problem that we have with the website.
All right, so now we're gonna add
a lot of paint.
First, I'm gonna add some lighter. Yeah, look at that. It's so easy to just get gobs of it, right? We're gonna just start adding some lighter leaves too. What is it? These aren't leaves, but we're just suggesting this.
Is that the Salvador brush you're using?
Yeah. Little Salvador brush.
It's a soft round.
Soft round, very soft. Very soft round. Now I want to do a little bit of white on this, I want to do a little bit of white on this pine cone tucked back here like that. All right, that's wrong. Don't make these in a row. They're not. When you do these pine cone things, they're staggered. The light highlight is staggered. So if you got 2 there, then this would be in the middle, and then 1 would over here. That's something I hadn't really thought about. There's a pattern to these things. Let's see how this is buried in there like that. That's cute, isn't it? And just the secret to painting these is the little, what do you call these? These little brown leafy things sticking up are staggered. Okay. Wow, is that just what a romantic? Why is this so romantic? I don't know why, but it feels like it's a very romantic thing. I'm going to dry all this, and then we'll keep going. Isn't that romantic? The cocoa. Okay.
It's probably the cinnamon sticks that makes it so romantic.
I think it's that starry sky. Just want to indicate a little bit of snow that maybe just still on there like that. Maybe a little bit of something that's a little bit lighter right here. tucked in here like that across this. I just felt like there ought to be a couple of these red berries. What do you think? Take them out if you think it's too much.
Well, I'm assuming that this is holly now.
No, it's not holly.
Well, what is it?
Just berries from greenery. Doesn't greenery have berries? Maybe not. Okay, taking them out. I thought they had greenery, but no, you're saying no, right?
Well, if they're holly berries, if it's holly, they'd have berries.
It's not holly. It's you know how sometimes it's green. I know holly has. What? Google that. What other green evergreens have berries? I think they have red berries, don't they? I thought they did. But nonetheless, we will take them out. You have little faith.
Oh, no. What evergreen has red berries? Oh, it's a yapan. With small but distinct leaves and a pale gray bark. It grows in the shade or sun. Blah, blah.
I think I need some greenery right here behind it. What do you think? No, maybe not. Nope, not doing it. So you don't even get to answer. I just talk to myself here.
Might as well, because you're not listening to me none.
Well, I did. I took out the berries because you nixed them.
Well, I'm trying to understand what oh, there's some berries on a pine tree.
Yes, that's what I said.
Why don't you put those berries back in there?
Hey, there were some berries on a pine tree. I put it on crack. I mean, I'm just telling you that there were some berries, but maybe it might be, this is kind of nice the way it is. So we haven't put the straws in. Let's dry everything so we can go ahead and tape the straws in and then put the rest of the melting chocolate and, and then you can find a frame for us.
And then we can put the berries in and take them out if we don't like them again.
Yeah, but, yes and yes.
There's all kinds of evergreens that have berries.
Yes. Yes and yes. Yes.
Most of them are poisonous. Isn't that nice to know? I'd have that around my beverage.
Well, you're not supposed to eat the centerpiece, John. Did your mother not tell you that when you were a kid? Quit eating the grapes in the centerpiece. It just made my mother crazy.
Oh, yeah, but why'd you put them in there?
Well,
it's a decoration. Why do you waste food on a decoration?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
see, this is in the photograph like this, but I kind of like it if this boards were all going the same direction. What do you think? See how this one is in the photograph like that, and I've kind of
that's the end of the table.
Yeah, there's something in the tray or whatever. All right, but
well, hey, you're not married to the photograph.
I know, but sometimes it's hard not to be. I'm just whining here. It's hard not to be because it's in the picture. Except,
it
by the way,
make it right.
No, it doesn't. Particularly since I think this was put together too. I think the original photo was put together. What do you think?
I don't know. Oh, you know what that is? You silly goofball.
What?
That's sitting on a slate tile. That is a slate tile. That is at a different level.
Well, that's dumb. Well, laugh if you want, but it's dumb.
It's not dumb. It's a slate tile. You don't want to get your beverage spilled on the table.
Why would I care? I ask you, why would I care?
Well, because you just wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that. Yeah, that's pretty. I solved that mystery.
Yeah, but I think if it was all the same table, wouldn't that make sense if you had some lines all going this way at the same table?
Well, if you made it all table instead of...
So right now I have this is where the slate tile's going here.
Right.
Right in front of that, right?
See, if you put the top edge of the slate table, you'd be all right. Slate tile.
No. I'll think about it. All right, I'm going to put my tape for my straws.
But make sure you have your artist tape available, folks. Got to have that. I don't have straight lines on the straw. This is not a Van Gogh.
Yeah, we want to do that right here like so.
We've done Van Goghs.
Pull the tape tight, put it down on one top, like on the top. Pull it, slide your thumb down, do that, okay? And if you didn't draw them in, if you have this narrow teeth, the straws could be as thin as this. Like, for instance, here's a trick I'll show you. I'm going to put the tape, I'm going to say that's my straw, right? And then I'm going to say there's another piece of tape next to it. And I'll do it like that, right, with me? Okay, and then I'll pull out the middle one. See?
And there's your straw.
And there's my straw, and I don't have to. So it doesn't look totally even. It looks a little narrower here, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you kind of overlaid it.
Kind of overlaid it. Well, I didn't mean to. All right, you can do that too, like that. But that looks better, right? Then take a little piece, because you want the straw kind of at an angle, like that. All right, so here's straw number 2. Like so. Okay, now make sure your sky is very dry. Yes. Kind of a fun little picture, isn't it?
I think it was a great little picture.
It wasn't hard, was it? Nobody's finding this hard, are you guys?
No, I've heard no complaints so far.
Exactly so. I knew you'd all just get this like a breeze.
I mean, this is a piece of cake. Ooh, that's what it needs, a piece of cake to go with the chocolate.
I know.
Drink, chocolate cake. Ooh, that sounds good.
I'm gonna, he's got they're both up at an angle, but I'm going to change the angle so it's going that way. On the top, I'm going to be a little different. Even though in the photo it's going that way, we're going to change it.
Well, they were wrong again.
Well, I just, feel like we got to...
Are you going to put anything at the bottom, or are you going to just be real careful?
Oh, we got to be real careful.
It's kind of going into marshmallow stuff, so you got to...
Yeah, we got to be careful.
Be careful.
And let's see, that these should be about... Let's just check our reference photo. These are about... I think they're about the right height. Okay, so I'm just
precisely measured.
All right, so now you got to really smush this down, right? It's called burnishing. You got to burnish that, otherwise the paint and no water on your brush. So come on, quit fooling around, you guys.
This is serious stuff.
And I think the color I want for this is a little bit of white, or you could use buff titanium, and I'm just going to do that. But otherwise, you can do white and a little yellow oxide. But I just feel like as long as I'm doing it, I'll just do buff, because that's easy. And I just don't feel like going to all the trouble of mixing a color. Somebody says, why do you buy a certain color? Well, sometimes you just don't feel like mixing it. Yes and yes.
Basically, you can mix anything.
You can.
Except
I have
for primaries.
Yeah. Now, I'm hoping, we're getting really close to that. We're hoping this is being aired on the
19th.
On the 19th of December is the plan for this.
The day before my sister's birthday.
Well, yeah, okay.
Happy birthday, Nance.
And I'm going to put a little bit of white with this one, because I want this one to be a little bit brighter than the other straw. Just some technical stuff here. Okay.
So what were we going to say about being the 19th?
Was I going to say something about it? You
started off saying something about it.
Did I? I don't remember. Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't think I did. Are you sure? Yeah, I did. All right. Yeah, I did. Okay, never mind. Okay, now let me just dry that, because we're going to put the stripes on at the same time, okay? In order to do the stripes, we're going to find a brush, the width of the stripes. So we're going to say we want red ones here. And let's just, just going to take a pen and draw them in. All right, I know you want them at a pretty good angle here, right, like this. So, I have to draw them in. I'll just be so confused.
It made me nervous going for it.
I got to draw them in. I'm going to take one of my Posca pens. These are the new Artesia ones, the Fine Art Artesia. And I'll get out the red. Hopefully that was one you've already opened. Have you?
Making me a nervous Nelly.
Did you already open the red, John?
We had red yesterday, didn't we?
Did I? I think I did. I think you opened the red. Okay, here's the red.
I know the pink is. Pull it off and see if the tip is red before you shake it up a bunch of times.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
All right, so how it has to go is that the tip of this, it's going to be red right like there. Okay, that's going to be red, and then it's going to go like this. That's going to be red, and then we're going to skip down, and it curves around like that. And then this is red. That's red, okay? The tip is red. So now, I'll take the red paint. Now I know where the red goes. And turn this sideways. And make sure I have just paint on one side of the brush. Okay, that's magenta. Let's do a little more red. Now, I didn't really give it enough space between that and that, which wasn't a good thing. So, can I just come up here like this with this color there, like that? Really want to see that. Now I want a little bit of highlight on this. Yeah, I'm getting confusing, right? Just
Oh, that looks cool.
yes and yes?
That looks like a straw.
Yeah, right?
Can you do it again?
I think so. So, I think we want to use blue. This other one was blue, but what do you think? 2 reds, or should we do a red and a blue? Now we're all having this conversation.
They were 2 different colors?
Yeah, in the photo, they're 2 different colors.
Why would that be?
Well, because straw comes in a lot of colors. That's what it does. But, red...
I would stick with red myself.
Yeah, I'm inclined to say that you're going to override the photo and just to stick with that, right? So we're going to sit there and say that there's red coming this way. And then there's red coming this way. Use sock folders, you can mention it. You can
I would be measuring it.
You can measure it if you feel like eyeballing it in is asking too much of your sensibilities. But okay.
Are you saying it'd be wrong to measure?
No, I'd probably good to measure. I'm just saying that you got to imagine it. Just pretend I measured. Getting paint for each one, no water.
Just paint.
Now let's get our little highlight going here. How about that?
Looks like straws to me.
Looks like straws to me, right? And yeah, I think my instinct for the red berries, I don't think it was wrong. We're doing the red berries. Sorry, dear friend, but we're doing the red berries.
I said put them back in. After I confirmed the reality was real.
You see, you're back to being an historian, aren't you?
I mean, why not? You should have poisonous berries on the table.
Okay, like that. And then we'll put a little highlight on them. Just to bring that red back into the picture. Yes?
Well, it's keeping with the holiday.
Okay. Just keeping with the, just kind of keeping with the holiday, right? That even might, I could bring some berries right by here too.
Oh, and that's getting too wild.
Yeah, but yeah, that probably is.
What were they doing over there?
They rolled off the
He's getting
table.
close to food now.
Really disturbed about the poisonous berries, isn't he? All right, so now we're gonna just do some more drippies.
Do what?
We got a few more drippies. We got a.
Oh yeah.
Let me just say we got a drippy coming down here like this. Come down with the caramel, whatever this is.
That's caramel. Come on. It looks like caramel.
You start off with the burnt umber first, so that then the burnt umber is your outline. And then you put a little bit of white highlight on it for a, not that much. Almost. Here, let's just do something a little lighter right here, coming over the top. There you go. I'm running out of clean places on my, there's a drip right there. Then you want to highlight on your drip here. See, this is key. On this one, you need to put a highlight on the chocolate dripping. So you can't just have it dripping, you've got to have a little highlight on it so that it looks drippy. And let's see. Let's do a little buff titanium here. We want this a little bit lighter right in here for this guy. And a little bit darker right here. And okay, it's just got it dripping there. Doesn't have to drip everywhere, but doesn't hurt to have a drip or two, right? And okay. Let's see now. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh yeah, we need a highlight here. Need this to be lighter here. Bring it on down. Here. Some of this sort of caramel color. It's up here. A couple places. Wow, that looks pretty nummy, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, let's see. Let's take a tiny brush and redo the highlights on the pine cone because they kind of turn, they're not white anymore. So this is clean brush. Nobody's touched it.
A fine detail brush.
Just make sure that you've got your highlights back bright again, yeah. And this had a dark line here on the outside here. And that handle, there was a lot of reflections on that glass. Okay. And gosh, I think we've got a night sky and I feel like we kind of nailed this. We could just do this, kind of like the straw, the cinnamon sticks have got that a little bit darker line here where they kind of curve around like that. But I would say, John, that we've and what we intended to do was to show you how to paint this, and I think we did. And of course, you could always spend a little more time than I did on it, and you would not be remiss. Let's put a yellow here. But there you have it. I think let's go find us a frame and see what it looks like framed.
Bring that puppy up. Let's give it a good dry and we'll do that.
Okay.
You're still painting though.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You're always painting.
All right. Now, would you believe that in just about an hour we were able to paint this 9x12 cocoa on a winter? That looks like somebody's deck, doesn't it?
It does.
And a night sky. You know what I mean? I guess we should really call it waiting for Santa, huh?
There you are.
Don't you think so? Just, waiting for Santa, or it could be toasting in the new year, whatever you toast if you're a cocoa person. Or it could be coffee and cocoa. I mean, it's so many things. It could be one of those fancy drinks they sell at or big bucks coffee stores, right?
Yeah.
But whatever it is, I think it's charming. And I would invite you to go to our Academy website and look at some of our other cocoa things, because you can have this. Would be really cute for holiday decorations, don't you think so?
Absolutely.
Could put a marshmallow out there on the table too. But can't do everything at once. But it's all good. And so enjoy this. I would love to hear in the comments how this kind of premiere worked for you. If you part of our live chat, comment too, even if you've been commenting all along during the premiere. And it was everybody a wonderful holiday. And I think that while John and I are on the 19th of December, we should be in Australia.
Should be.
That's our plan. So if we are in Australia, that's our plan. We hope that we're going to wish everybody happy holiday. Check out our holiday t-shirts, which should be somewhere on our website by now.
Absolutely.
Check those out. We got some great ones. All right. So and a new company too. So we'll see you when?
And the next one.
And the next one. Are we doing?
We're doing a hiatus for the week between Christmas and New Year.
There will be no YouTube
There's
show.
Nothing being released
during the week. Everybody's just taking that week off, and but
our moderators need a break.
And everybody needs a break. And I think you know what? There's so many things to paint that we got more stuff. If you painted everything I did, you'd be painting for 20 years. So enjoy and have fun.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Ginger Cook, the queen of color, with a blazing brush at the speed of light, and a blank canvas, and a hearty yes and yes. The queen of color, Ginger Cook, and her sidekick, John Little, teach you to paint with acrylics.